everyone, Cooper Johnson here, coming to you from Los Angeles. It is another typically overcast day here in Southern California. As some of you know, I'm a conversation designer or voice user experience designer at Gridspace, greatest company in the world. And today I want to talk to you about a very specific aspect of the world of generative AI, which is voice agents. It's what I work on every day, our voice agent Grace at Gridspace. But more importantly, I want to tell you how voice agents, generative AI voice agents, are here to kill or end the reign of terror of a previous generation's technology, the IVR, which you probably know better reflexively as the bad phone menu. And I'll get to that in a second, but first let's recap what voice agents are and what makes them so powerful. Generative AI voice agents, namely Grace, are voice bots enabled to help people over the phone. And they have a set of tasks, a set of instructions to run a task that can be complex or sensitive, or both, as we increasingly see in these real-world applications of voice agents. And they have a repository of information called the knowledge base, which contains the information necessary to be really proficient at the task we assign them to do. And almost more importantly, to answer questions that should arise, off-the-cuff questions from the customers, clients, patients, what have you, who are speaking to the voice agent. So voice agents are really powerful. They also sound very natural because they have TTS, what's called TTS voices, meaning that their voices are fully synthetic and generated on the fly. So the speech that you hear from a voice agent is never pre-recorded, never canned, as we say. And above all, most importantly, what sets voice agents apart is that they're fully conversational. You can interact with them just like you're speaking to another human being. So no need to change how you speak. You can just speak naturally, full sentences, proper grammar, speaking your mind, just expressing what you need to express, and the voice agent will be able to help you achieve the task that it's been assigned to help you with. Voice agents are great. So now, what about IVRs? And if those three letters don't send a chill down your spine, let me tell you that IVRs, a lot of us call them bad phone menus, or don't know what to call them at all. We just associate them with having a bad time on the phone, interacting with an automated system that makes us wish we were doing anything else, or more frequently is super frustrating, downright aggravating, because it's slow to achieve what we want if it helps us at all. It's cumbersome, and we have to interact with it in a way that's deeply uncomfortable. So of course I'm talking about systems where it's like press 1 to hear the main menu, press 2 to hear these options again, leave a short message, type in using the keypad your 16-digit menu number, or say it if you want. All these bad things where, even if we think we're getting it right, we all too frequently hear press 4 to hear these options again, press 8 to go back to the main menu, because it wasn't intuitive what we should do to achieve the things that we want to do on this automated system. So we have to start over, either going back a couple of steps, or all too frequently just going back to the very beginning. So that's an IVR. If you're an adult in this modern world, you've probably spent more time interacting with IVRs than you care to admit, and possibly hope never to do again. So there's some good news coming. But first, I should acknowledge, I've said before, I am a conversation designer. I have to acknowledge that the conversation designers who came before me, my grandparents in this field, so to speak, did a lot of great work in previous decades, making IVRs as good as they could possibly be. So shout out to all the conversation designers that came before me. But now it is time to put IVRs to bed for good. And that's where voice agents come in. Because everything that we hate about dealing with IVRs Everything from canned dialogue doesn't sound great. It is going to be frustrating if it sounds a little too smug or sounds a little more competent than we quickly find out that it is, to having to press buttons, to having to listen through menus of choices in real time. You know, we can't skip ahead on those menus. We have to listen to them through to the end to make sure the thing we want to do is not option number 9 in the list. To having to restart, or perhaps, you know, for a point in our lives where we're just past all of that, smashing whatever button we think is going to get us through to a human representative the fastest. Maybe even going on to that website I think we've all used, Get Human or something like that, where maybe we can find an IVR schematic to jump through all the hoops blindly and get to a human the fastest. So all that is completely done away with by voice agents. Voice agents, reminder, we can speak to you fully conversationally, so we do not have to learn a new interface. We're all born knowing how to speak. So instead of, you know, listen to these options and press the thing that you want to do, a voice agent will replace that interface with something like, "Hi, I'm Grace. What can I help you with today?" And then you just get to tell Grace what it is you want to do so you can get on with your life. And also, something that's overlooked a lot, I think, is that how often does an IVR dump someone into a hold queue? You know, okay, it took however long it took to establish what you want to do, and now the IVR is just going to put you on hold for another 15-20 minutes while it gets a human agent, 15-20 minutes if you're lucky, gets the human agent who's qualified to help you with that as soon as they're available. Voice agents can bypass the need to be put on hold because, like I said before, voice agents are capable of handling tasks that are complex or sensitive, or both. Sensitive might mean healthcare information, it might mean financial information, and you know, the complexity is, you know, there's basically infinite possibility there. You need to resolve some specific need pertaining to information that's very important or sensitive or timely to you. So because the voice agent can help with that, voice agents can be integrated with third-party software systems to access whatever information they need in either direction. You know, maybe just looking up customer's name and phone number, all the way up to accessing medical or financial information once verification has been passed. Because voice agents can do that, they can sometimes bypass they can handle the busy work that a human agent might be overqualified to do. So working in conjunction with human agents, voice agent can, from beginning to end, establish what you want to do, and then if it's been scoped to help you with that task, help you with that task. No need to eventually be put onto the human agent, therefore no time on hold. What does that mean? Should you be in a situation where you do eventually have to speak to a human, because, you know, there are times in this world where only a human might do, it's going to be faster to get to a human because the voice agent is handling all those sensitive or complex or both tasks that humans are overqualified for, and that, you know, we're just traffic in the system. So everyone gets what they need faster when a voice agent is on the job, and in practice, a lot less time spent on hold. So that's cool. And so we also need to consider like how cool it is that generative AI capabilities, and this is AI powered by large language models, has given the voice agent more competence and even more autonomy in a lot of cases. Because you try asking an IVR a question, that's not going to work. IVR is not going to know how to answer that question. Not going to even know where to look for that information. Will not even be in a state where it's receptive to a question. So out with the old, in with the new. One wonderful thing about voice agents is that they are in a state to answer your questions. And if they have a lovingly curated knowledge base with all the information specific to the task or domain that they're working in, they are there to answer your questions. And kind of to bring it full circle, you want to ask a voice agent a question, something pertaining to the business that you're doing with it, or about the business that has employed the voice agent. It's always in a state to answer that question, and you do not need to reformulate your question in any specific way. You do not need to optimize your language for a dumb machine. Just ask what you need to ask. And generative AI capabilities, and Grace in particular, here at Gridspace, being what they are, the voice assistant, voice agent, will just be able to pull that information from its knowledge base and answer your question. So to me, that really feels like much more of a two-way street, much more of an interaction between peers, whereas working with an IVR, you're kind of just banging your head against a digital wall, maybe an analog wall, a lot of the time. Like the IVR was something to be contended with, trying to achieve what you wanted to achieve, which was the worst thing in the world if you wanted to get something, had to get something done fast, or were trying to access information that was by all rights your information and was on the other side of this moat that the IVR represents. So, but now with voice agents and their knowledge bases being assigned to tasks, being able to answer your questions, and being able to, at all stages of the conversation, determine your needs and act on your needs straight from your normal everyday dialogue. That is wholesome, friendly, accessible, approachable, above all useful, better use of everyone's time, and a much better influence on everyone's mood, I would say. So the end of the IVR is here. If you ask me, of course I'm a little biased, if you ask me, really no excuse for any company, any organization to be doubling down on their IVRs right now, or at the very least, not making plans for the near term to wholesale replace their IVRs. There's no excuse for that. Voice agents are here. They kind of deliver on the distant promise that IVRs once imagined, which is an automated system actually able to help people quickly and accurately. So the age of the voice agent is here. Let's have a funeral for IVRs. Let's do what IVRs did better and do so much more than IVRs ever could. And just a few stray thoughts before I wrap this up. We commonly associate IVRs, I think, mostly with inbound calling, where you call somewhere and an IVR intercepts your call. Never fun. You know, there are, cases where an outbound call connects you with an IVR, something dials out to you. But I think we most commonly associate them with inbound calling. Voice agents, of course, can handle inbound calling, but they're far, far more robust at outbound calling. Partially because of all the functionality that I've described, but also if you're receiving a call from an automated system, probably your second choice in any circumstance, right? But you definitely are going to have much less patience for receiving a call from a dumb IVR. But receive a call from Grace, who is actually capable of listening and sounds friendly and sounds human and is able to meet you where you are as a human being who likes to speak with real words and thoughts and feeling. That's infinitely better. So we shouldn't pinhole voice agents as either inbound or outbound calling. They're there to do both super competently, and in both of those call directions, those domains, they're to outperform IVRs. So I think it's personally, I think it's very hard to overstate how much better a world we're living in for achieving things over the phone now that voice agents are here. And I'll be there. I don't want to say I'm going to dance on IVR's grave, but pretty close.
Hello, thank you for calling Gridspace's YouTube channel. Did you make sure they liked the video and smash that subscribe button?
Yes, I did.
And ask them to leave any questions or thoughts in the comments. It helps me a ton. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to talk to me yourself, go to gridspace.com and click on any one of our demos. Thank you, and talk to you soon.
Thank you, Grace.